What's good, people? It's Wednesday night. We live like we do every Wednesday about this time. Let me plug this thing up in here. We just kicking it today, y'all. I'm hoping that folks brought some questions so we can just talk about bass. You know what I mean? So let me open up the chat window. And, man, let me know how y'all doing, how your Wednesday's going, all that good stuff. I'm sitting here with this. I cannot put this dog on modern vintage down. I can't also tighten up the mic thing there. What's up, Fleece? What's happening? What's happening, brother? What's going on? I wanted to tell y'all too, on Friday, I'm releasing a 7-day major scale mastery challenge. 7-day mastery challenge. And I think you guys are going to dig it. Do I find myself missing the B string? Actually, no. I don't. But I will say that I'm not totally ready to go do like a pickup gig without that fifth string. That fifth string is such an insurance policy for modern music. So I gotta do something. I don't like this thing. I gotta get another one, a different one. What else is going on? I'm working on a new video, a longer form video. I had to take my time on it because it's got some good research stuff that I want to do. Let me turn another light on here as well. It's a little dark in the spot. There we go. Yeah, this modern vintage, man. They're gonna make me get my hands on another one. Look, so I wanted to say, like last week when we were on, Jerome Boyd, welcome. Jerome, I like people who are brand new to the bass. I love people who are brand new to the bass. So give it a couple seconds, and then I want you to think about some burning questions you have about the bass and put them down there in the chat. I also wanted to share with some folks, I think I may have made it a little bit confusing last week about, like how you can engage and support the channel, support the creation of the content. The lights got to stay on, got to pay subscription softwares and stuff like that. So if you are so moved to do that, let me show you some ways that you can do that. So if there's a few ways, the one way is super chat. And I've never done this before. Let's see, we're live now. Let's see if I can do this without getting any slap back here. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't even know where the super chat button is. Fleece, where's the super chat button at? Is it in the actual chat? Is it in the actual chat box? Ah, there we are. So I have to sign into chat. I can't do that. Well, I can do that. Hang on a second. What's the best way to learn the fretboard? Hang on just a second. I'm going to tell you. And it's going to sound like a crazy... Somewhere down in the chat, on the bottom of the chat screen is a little icon to allow you to super chat. And that's basically a tip, right? Just leaving a tip of various amounts. There's also all these options here in this window. You can tip here. You can grab any of these resources that I've got down here at the bottom. Yeah, so the super chat is the dollar sign. Also, we've got the Son of a Bass TED Talks Bass merch store. Got some ebooks there. Got some cool drinkware in there as well. I'm really proud of these mugs, to be quite honest with you. But we got these dope shirts as well. If you're into Prince, there's the Prince Bass Lineage shirts. This is another one that I'm really feeling. Bass player ingredients. Anyway, so those are some ways that you can, support the channel. You can also, if you want to join and support that way, when you go to TED Talks Bass, you can join the membership, and there's stuff that I sometimes put in there that is not public, that's only for members, so you can hit that join button. All of those things help. I appreciate every last little bitty thing that you do. So let's get into James Boyd's question about learning the fretboard. That's a good place. That's a good place for us to start. All right. So first things first, let's look at one string at a time, right? The low string is the E string. Whenever we're talking about high and low, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm telling you, I got to get another setup when it comes to that mic. We're talking about low and high. If I do like that, I'm talking about high. If I point this way, I'm talking about high, because we're talking about pitches, right? If I talk about low that way or low that way, because the G string is the highest string on a 4-string bass. D string, A string, E string. Pretty basic, right? Now, I'm going to tell you the musical alphabet real quick, and then you'll see how it translates here. The musical alphabet is A through G. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Those are the natural notes. There is a whole step between all of the notes except for 2. There's a half step between B and C, and there's a half step between E and F. What does that mean when it comes to the neck of the electric bass? Well, that note is E. That first fret, because there's no frets in between it, is going to be F. Now, if I go just one fret above that, that's going to be F sharp. But we don't want to worry about that right this second, right? Because I just told you the natural notes. I'm going to show you the natural notes on each string. And also, Mr. Boyd, Jerome, let me tell you this. I want to be very clear about this. What I'm showing you is a way. It is not the way. And it is just one of the ways that you can learn the bass guitar neck. All right. You just got to spend time with it. Okay. So E, F, that's a half step. Now remember, I said there's a whole step in between every note except B and C and E and F. So from F, we skip a fret. G, skip. A, skip. B. William Fitch, thank you for the super chat. B, and then there's a half step between B and C. From C, we skip C sharp and go to D. From D, we skip that and we go to E. Now check this out. Once I get to this 12th fret where the 2 dots are, everything starts over again. So this E is an octave higher than that E. So the natural notes, E on the E string, E, F, G, A, B, C. Let's stop there at that C. Let's stop right there. When we're playing those natural notes, we're playing the notes of C major or E or A minor. C major or A minor. We'll stay away from too much theory right now. Let's go to the A string and look at the natural notes on the A string. So I know that that open string is A. I also know that there's a whole step between A and B. So I skip this first fret, A, B. Now I know that there's a half step in between B and C. So B, C, whole step, D, whole step, E. Remember there's a half step in between E and F. E, F, whole step between F and G, and then there's a whole step between G and A, whole step, B, half step, C. Now check this out. I wasn't putting any emphasis on what finger I use to shift or anything like that. I'm just taking this base knowledge that there's a whole step between all of the notes except for B and C and E and F, and that the natural notes are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Somebody type a 1 in the chat if that made sense. Type a 2 in the chat if we need to cover that again. Type a 1 in the chat if that made sense, or a 2 in the chat if we need to cover that part again. I'm not sure, but that could be a lot of information. So let's, I'll look at the chat and see if I, okay, Jerome, cool. Capital J, cool. Let's do that same thing on the, let's do that same thing on the D string. So we know that that's open D. D, whole step. E, we need a half step in between E and F. A whole step between F and G. A whole step between G and A. A whole step between A and B. A half step between B and C. A whole step in between C and D. Now watch this. Remember I said this is D, right? That at the 12th fret everything starts over again. So that pattern is just going to continue up, right? Let's do this for the G string and then we'll move on to something else. So G, open G, whole step A, whole step to B, half step between B and C, whole step between C and D, whole step between D and E, half step between E and F, whole step between F and G. And then we just repeat that thing over again. Let's take that information, just the natural notes, and we're going to work within the first 4 frets, right? Really, we're going to work between, Yeah, the first 4 frets. Let's just do that. So I'm gonna start with E. E, F, G. I'm only gonna play the natural notes. Let me change that. Let's say the first 3 frets. E, F, G, A. Because that's open A, right? We need that. We're not gonna go any further up here. E, F, G, A, B, C. Sounds like the second half of a major scale. D, E, F, G, A. Now we're going to work within the first 5 frets. Watch this. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. While I'm playing that open D, I'm going to shift to my first finger. E, F, G, A, B, C. I don't know where Wayne is, but this would repel him like roach spray. That would be E Phrygian. Fleece, you'll have to tell him about that later. C major scale. What about coming back down, playing just the natural notes? C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. That's what they call the Mixolydian mode. What about if I started? What about if I started that scale from my pinky? Started that scale from my pinky finger and not the root C. When I land on that A, I get the A natural minor. But here's the thing about modes. Unless I end on that A, right? What's up, Sean Barnes? What's up? Once I land on that A, it sounds minor. It sounds like that A minor, but I'm still playing. Sorry. I'm still playing the C major scale. I'm just starting from a different spot. If I end on that C, sounds like C major, right? So, this is what I want to encourage you guys to do. Wayne says, and I'm out. I want to encourage you guys to do. If you're finding value in this video, there are currently 19 sets of eyes watching and only 9 likes. And so if we don't get the engagement up, then that says, well, I'm not really feeling what you're doing, and or whatever. So I encourage you to hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. If you're finding value in this, I truly encourage you to join the membership or do that super chat thing. If you look down at the bottom of your chat screen, you will find a $sign, and the $sign will allow you to leave a love offering, if you will. Also, if you look in the description of this live stream, You will see other ways to support, like buy me a cup of coffee. You can choose any of these links down here in the bottom. Every little bit helps. All right? Every little bit helps. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. So Chuck Hardy just got out of my lesson and was shown modes for the first time. Can you talk about applying this to a song? I should also mention, yes, I can. What I want to mention as well, on Friday, I'm releasing a major scale video that is a part of a 7-day major scale challenge that also has some very practical application as well that I'm hoping you guys will check out. Pistachios roasted in the shell. Anyways, let's see here. Let's talk about the next mode. Or the next, let's just move this thing up here, right? I'm not going to say we're talking about modes. I'm just going to say we're talking about these natural notes, right? We started in the first position, moved up. What about if I start the scale, if I start... When on a gig do you think modes and scales? I don't think any of that stuff. I don't think any of that. I simply think... If I think anything, how do I answer this? The shapes are there as like a sort of a reference, but I'm not thinking about any of that. That's kind of what the shed is for, right? So welcome, Chuck. Appreciate you, Chuck. I'm trying to think. You know what? Let me move to B flat. I'm gonna move to B flat, but somebody type, what you think this... I said B flat. I went to A flat. Sorry. What do you think that progression is? We got one guest down there. Anybody else? I'm gonna come back to that, Sean. I'm gonna come back to that. That's a good question. I'm gonna come back to that. So let's say there's my scale. That is easy like Sunday morning, right? One of the things that I know, I might think, here's the A flat major pentatonic scale in one shape. Here it is in another shape. That's super common. That shape is hella common. So if I'm playing that, I'm not thinking about modes. I just know that these shapes are gonna, the shapes are gonna work, and also vocabulary that's built up over time. You know, when you hear something like, you know that's a pentatonic scale. If you don't know it at first, you know that sound. You know what I mean? Now, I don't want to give away too much of the stuff that I'm talking about in the 7-day challenge. When playing a funk song or any song, do you go into improvisation off a particular note, like the 5th or 7th? Sometimes. Sometimes. Hang on a second. Let's throw in a little something here. So let's say I got to move a screen out of the way. Let me know if you guys can hear the drum beat. Type a 1 in the chat if you can hear that drum groove. So I'm thinking A dominant 7. The A minor pentatonic is going to work over that as well. Okay, I'm going to freak Wayne out here a bit. Check this. A minor and C major are related. A minor is the relative minor of C major. What does that mean? Check this. Now here's C major. They're all the same notes. So I'm going to just meander around those modes in this position without moving my hand. But I'm going to establish, I'm going to put my hand on the note this time. Now watch this. You recognize this? I'm starting that idea from the 7. What's up, Clark? You don't want my bass, man? Now if I think about A minor from here, I've got C major here. Not sure if that answered the question. I hope it did a little bit. But I'm seeing those things as like one big box. One big box of crayons that I could put stuff in. Baseline project. What questions do you have since last week? Yeah, this thing does. It got a bite. It's got a bite to it. It's got a bite to it. What's up, C Black? Baseline project. What questions do you have since last week? Since last week about the bow, about the bass. Let's see what we got. What we got. Nothing right now. Okay, cool. Not a problem. Not a problem. How devoted are you to certain strings? I've been using Dunlop strings for many years. Many years. Any tips for playing more relaxed? Let me star that, Chuck. Hold that thought. I don't like steel strings at all. Not at all. I don't like steel strings. I'm a nickel dude. Wicked bass. I want to talk a little bit about that. I'll grab another bass and talk a little bit more about that as well. Baseline project, of course. What settings do you typically use on your bass and amp? So, truth be told, most of the time I'm playing an active bass. I've only taken this passive bass out once, for a week long. Well, no, I took it out twice. It's flown twice with me, and with this bass, it's a lot more versatile than I thought it would be for a passive bass, but really, right now, the both pickups are full on. The tone is, halfway. But I like to be able to when I want to. I just love that sound. I don't, I don't know why. I love to be able to dig in and get that bite. Any tips for playing more relaxed? That's a good question. I think one thing is being confident in what you're playing and not trying to not overthinking what you're playing. You know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid to be simple. Also, like, let's say I'm just like this, right? If my arm is like this and I just grab that bass like a baseball bat, like, the instrument should be an extension of your arm and not this external thing that you're trying to manipulate, right? So, like, let's say I just grab the bass like this, and then just when I just roll my thumb down, my hands will naturally flatten out. If I got a good strap, I'm not trying to hold the bass up, you know? Don't fight with it. I still have my thumb pedal. I don't really have a need for it with active basses. Let's see. Do I get any buzz? There it is. A little bit. But it's not much. And I mean, in a band situation, it really, you're not gonna hear that anyway. Let's talk 5-string. I got pistachio shells all over me and stuff. Hold, please. I'm coming. Hold on. I'm coming. Hold on. Tangled up. I think a little context, Wayne, is important. I should do more synth bass videos. I haven't really hooked it up since I've been back from Thailand, but I should do that. Me switching from 4-string to 5-string, I don't even think about it. I don't really think about it at all. God, I haven't played this bass in a while. Remember, like, let's go back to that first question. We're talking about natural notes. So if this is E, that's A, that's D, and that's G. Thank you. Look at that. Look at that neck. Ooh, look at that neck. Look at that neck. B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But on a 5-string, like, a lot of people get 5-string basses because they're in vogue, right? You think you need a 5-string. But truth be told, what do you get with this is 34.5, 34 and a half. What do you get with this extra B string? You get E flat, D, D flat, C, B. You get a whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional notes. Okay? But you get the ability to play closed positions on, the other, other places. So for instance, F major. I can take a closed shape. I can play, more close up. First song that comes to mind is when I went out to do that Prince tribute, Erotic City was on the set list. We wound up not playing it because it was towards the end of the set. I could have easily tuned down pretty quickly, but it's so much more convenient. Or playing that low D there. It's hard for me to remember right now, like certain songs that Ain't Nobody is easier to play on a having that low E flat. A lot of most of the gospel guys that I know personally play 5-string and still tune down to E flat, which is just not a thing for me personally. But a place to put your thumb would be, yeah. But I mean, I don't think you should. I don't think that you should use this as a glorified thumb rest. My thumb. See, when I'm playing that B string. Yep, yearning is a good one. Yep. Yearning is a perfect example. Superstition. I know some guitar players like to play that in E. If you're on a 4-string bass and you got to play Superstition, it don't sound right with a. It does not sound right with an octave pedal to me. Quad vortex. I'm not even hip to that quad vortex. Shoot. That's another one. That low B comes in handy. So just like on a casual gig or something like that, I feel better having a 5-string than not. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like an insurance policy. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. But I don't think about it as a glorified thumb rest. And also, while we're at it, I'm a firm believer that any scale or anything if you're learning scales and modes, you need to know them, the width of the thickness of the neck, the width of the neck. So again, I'm not going to give out too much because the 7-day major scale challenge is going to come out on Friday, but let's say I know my G major scale like that, right? We learn this one. Most of us, when we learn a major scale, we learn this box. Well, I cannot neglect the G string and I cannot neglect the B string. So there's G major, right? 1 octave. those notes are also a part of G major. That note is a part of G major. So is that. So is that. So now what we have really is G major, but starting from D, which would be D mixolydian. So watch this. You dig? What about G major starting from the root note G? What's up, Tiny? From the lowest note, from the lowest string on the bass. Need a setup. You dig? So I don't want to neglect, we can't neglect the notes on, some people got 5 strings and that 5th string, like, that 5th string don't never get touched. That's going to drive me nuts. Y'all lucky I don't have an Allen wrench like right here, because I would adjust that like right now. What else you got? What else you got down there? What else you got down there? Let me tell you, don't be afraid of those super chats. Go down there and look down there at the bottom of that chat and hit that super chat button. I ain't begging. I'm not begging, but I do want to remind everyone that if you were sitting down and taking a bass lesson with someone, you wouldn't be doing it for free. So buy your boy a cup of coffee. Hit that super chat. Do you ever drop a note to an octave lower than it was originally written? Absolutely. Absolutely. That brings up another point. You know, you have to stay true to the idea of a bass line. But you're not, if you're playing in a live situation, number one, you're never going to play that note for note, inflection for inflection, right? You want to get the idea. Artie, thanks for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Let's get those likes up as well. We got 31 sets of eyes and only 22 likes. If you don't want to do a super chat, hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon, that helps me to continue to kind of do this stuff. Got to keep the lights on somehow. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Tiny. Thank you for your support, Tiny. William Fitch, I am not familiar with Shack Attack. The greatest nation is the Doe Nation. Let me tell let's talk about that for a second. Oh. So I live in New Orleans, right? I guess I could say I kind of live part-time in New Orleans. Anyway, I've played a lot of music in New Orleans. And back in the day, before everybody had a cell phone in their pocket, bands would have a sign up that said, no video recording, right? And the reason for that was, you'd be out there working and barely getting by, and somebody would come by and be taking, video, and then all of a sudden you're in somebody's documentary about New Orleans, right? It's happened to me. It's happened to me when I was a kid. It happened. Fast forward to today, we have Tiny. Thank you for the super chat. The you know, like folks thank you for the super chat, Sean Barnes. We have kind of devalued, and I'm not talking about you guys. I'm just talking about like, you know, the things I've experienced in the music space, right? I kind of devalued live music. And so on breaks and stuff, I'd be sitting by, and you know, you got like those bucket kids and who are annoying as all hell, but they trying to hustle, man. They trying to eat, right? And you see people, they got their cameras and stuff. And I'm like, man, if you gonna film them, you should dig in your pocket and give them a little something. So anyway, one day I'm playing on Bourbon Street, and man, it's a brother too. That's the thing that killed me. Baseline Project, thank you for the super chat. This is the thing that killed me, is the brother had like this fancy camera and all this, and he just like filming, and he like getting all these creative angles and stuff. And I'm looking at him like, yo, you know, what's up? I will do this. I will look at people and be like, hey, look at that tip bucket. Like, don't just be filming me and don't leave nothing in the bucket. Anyway, so he was doing it so much, I wound up turning my back on him. Now, this is a little club called a Brick Room, where it is like, there is no stage. You're just kind of on the floor and people are just kind of coming in and out or whatever. It's background music, essentially. And so I turned my back on him. Then I asked the singer, I was like, hey, you know this dude? Because he looked like he taking like promotional photos and stuff. And she was like, nah, I don't know him. I was like, I turned my back, and then he tried to get close and take a picture of my bass neck. And I was like, yo, bro, you got to stop. You got to stop doing this right now. And then I explained to him, I was like, yo, man, you know, I'm out here working, and you just like, and I kid you not, this brother took out $2 and put it in the bucket. And I said, ain't that some shit? I said, man, you know, nobody F's over artists. You know, he was like, I'm an artist too. And I was like, yeah, nobody screws over other artists, much like other artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, get your little shots off and then dip, or enjoy the show, and, you know, stop trying to get content. Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, there's also not a whole lot you can do about it. You know what I mean? It kind of goes with the territory, but I ain't gonna let nobody just film me. Not in my face. Another thing that gets me is like when folks will come and they'll have their light on. There's a bass player in town. I'm not going to call his name, but he is a beast. He's a beast. I don't know what happened, but the rumor is that somebody was shining a light in his face and he got him on the wrong night. So he cussed the people out. And I don't think he ever worked on Bourbon Street again. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. But I trust me, I get it. So I appreciate all y'all super chats. When I'm here on the channel, every video that I put out, every time I do a live stream, I don't consider myself an expert on anything. And what I'm telling you is not the way. It is a way, right? I do know that I've been playing bass for a long time. I played more gigs in the streets, in the trenches. I'm gonna do something about this. More gigs than I can count. So, you know, things that I speak about are coming from, you know, just years of experience. But what I want for you guys to do when you come on Wednesday nights, yes, love the super chats, but also bring your engagement, bring your questions. If you have them, you know what I'm saying? Bring those so we can talk about them. And if I can't answer them directly, I'm sure that there's somebody that's going to be in the chat that's going to be able to answer that question or start the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Tiny, I sure do repeat. I totally appreciate that, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's hella disrespectful. Baseline project, dirty stripper money. Yeah, yeah, man. It's a cold world. But I'm telling you, back in the days, you couldn't just film no band in New Orleans uh, without William. Thank you for the super chat. Um, how to forget all the theory and just go for it. Samson, you bet. Thank you for being here. Man, because you know how you forget all the theory and just go for it? Because the same way that, like, we don't have conversations like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. We don't do that, right? If somebody walked up to you and started talking to you like that, you would think they were crazy. But what happens is we build up vocabulary over time, right? And then we, like, if you learn a lick, right? And you just learn that lick out of context, it does you no good. But you know how you could tell one of your friends has learned a new word? They use it all the time, right? And they may not even know the context of it just yet, but they use it all the time. And then the context becomes clearer and clearer. Really good friend of mine has a son. He just turned 10. And he's got some language challenges that he's overcoming, but he was he was kind of barking back at his mom, and he said, "I don't like your attitude. I don't like your attitude. I don't like your," he was doing all these different, because he's learning this, somewhere he heard, "I don't like your attitude." And then he figured out some context, right? And then he's experimenting like, hey, when is the right time to pull this shit out? And how do I say it for maximum effect? You feel what I'm saying? And so that's the same way. That's such a doggone staple in my plan, but it's something that you've heard over and over and over again. You hear it all the time. What is it? Well, G is the first chord, right? That's the root. The second note of the major scale. The third note. The 5. The 6. The root. And the 9, right? Or otherwise known as the major pentatonic scale. So if I know I'm playing something in major, I know that's, first I learned, well, here's the sound that I like, right? There's that sound that I'm into, that I like, that I think sounds good. How do I physically address that? And then I'm like, can I see that in my mind's eye? If I don't even have my bass, I know what that sound looks like on my instrument, right? So can I play it? Can I see it mentally? Can I hear it? Right? Do-do-do-do-do-do-doom. Can I hear that? Yes, I can hear it. And then can I explain it? If I could play it, hear it, see it, and then explain it, then I feel like I got a solid handle on it, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Tiny, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, at 7 p.m. I want to thank everybody who has given a super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are not subscribed and you're watching, I want you to go on and hit subscribe, right? So with these live streams, as we build up these live streams, then they get better and all those things. We leave them up for a few days, and then they go to the members only section. If there's something you'd be like, dang, what'd he say? You got to be a member to see that. All right. Friday, look for the new video that's coming out on Friday. And then you just got to stop overthinking. Yes. Because we don't talk like that. Ultimately, what we're doing is communicating, right? We're having a communication with everybody on the stage and with the audience. And so at a certain time, you just have to relax. You know what I mean? I have to do that myself sometimes. Trust me, I get nervous still. So yeah, Friday, new video dropping on Friday. I put out videos every Monday. We did the live stream on Wednesday. We'll do a video on Friday. Every now and again, I'll do a pop-up, and we'll, if I'm feeling frisky, and do a pop-up and look at some videos and stuff like that together. Yeah, but this Friday, I'm also dropping a 7-day major scale challenge. And I want you guys to cop that and then give me some feedback on it as well. What can we do to improve it for next time? So I appreciate y'all being here. I certainly do appreciate the super chats. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video or the next live stream. All right? Catch you. Peace. 2 fingers.